I never thought I'd be the kind of man standing quietly in the corner while another man spoke over me, laughed louder than me, and placed his hand on my wife's back like it belonged there. Yet that's exactly where I found myself that night, holding a glass of cheap champagne, watching my marriage tilt on its axis. My name is Graham Holloway. I'm 39, married for 11 years to my wife, Ilara. Until recently, I believed loyalty and patience were enough to keep a marriage intact. The invitation came from Ilara's company, a formal gala celebrating a record-breaking quarter. Black tie, downtown hotel, all expenses paid. She was excited in a way I hadn't seen for months. New dress, careful makeup, that distant smile she wore when talking about work. She mentioned her boss, Rylan Crowe, more than usual, said he was demanding but brilliant. An alpha type, she joked once. I didn't laugh. At the event, Rylan made sure everyone knew who he was. Tall, confident, voice that carried across the room. When he saw Ilara, his face lit up like he'd spotted a trophy. He ignored me completely at first, stepped in close to her, complimented her dress, offered his arm. "You're with me tonight," he said, loud enough for others to hear. "I need a strong partner at my side." Ilara hesitated for half a second, then took his arm. Didn't look back at me. People assumed he was her husband. He didn't correct them. Neither did she. I watched from a distance as he guided her through the room, hand firm on her waist, laughing too close to her ear. I told myself it was just corporate theater, power games, networking, but something about the ease of it made my stomach tighten. This wasn't new to them. This was rehearsed. I didn't confront her. I didn't pull her aside or cause a scene. I waited. That's always been my strength. Observation. While Rylan paraded her around, I listened. His jokes were layered with ownership. "I stole her from her husband tonight," he said once, grinning. Laughter followed. Ilara smiled politely, didn't deny it. That silence said more than any confession. I remembered the past year. Late nights. Emotional distance. Her phone always face down. The way she spoke about Rylan with irritation that never quite hid admiration. I thought of every time I asked if something was wrong, and she said I was imagining things. Standing there, it all aligned with brutal clarity. This wasn't about confidence. It was about entitlement, and he felt entitled to her. So I made my move. Quietly, deliberately. I approached the event coordinator, a woman named Marisol, and asked a simple question. Could I add a short announcement to the program? I was a sponsor through my firm. She checked her tablet, smiled, and said yes. Timing was everything. I waited until Rylan had gathered a small audience around Ilara, basking in attention. When the microphone crackled to life, conversations softened. I took the stage calmly, introduced myself as Ilara's husband. A few heads turned. Rylan's smile froze. Ilara's face drained of color. I congratulated the company on their success, praised teamwork, leadership, integrity. Then I added, I'd also like to thank Rylan Crowe for taking such excellent care of my wife tonight. It's reassuring to know she's valued so personally at work. Silence landed heavy. Someone coughed. Rylan's jaw tightened. I continued, voice steady. Of course, clarity matters. So let me be clear. My wife is not anyone's date here. She is my partner, my equal, and no longer available for professional theater that blurs personal boundaries. I handed the microphone back and walked away. I didn't look at them. I didn't need to. The shift in energy followed me like a wake. Minutes later, Ilara found me near the exit. Her voice shook. Why would you embarrass me like that? I asked her one question. Why would you let him claim you? She had no answer. Just silence, the same silence I'd been living with. We left separately. That night, I packed a bag. Not out of anger, but resolve. The next morning, I contacted a lawyer. Not to punish, but to protect myself. Ilara tried to explain later. Said Rylan was powerful, that it was complicated. I listened without interrupting. Then I told her something she didn't expect. That I believed her. And that belief didn't change my decision. Respect isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. It's shown in small refusals, in boundaries kept even when no one is watching. That night, Rylan learned he couldn't take what wasn't offered. Ilara learned silence is still a choice. And I learned something more important. The moment someone claims what is yours, and you allow it, you've already lost. I didn't lose that night. I walked away with my dignity intact, and that was the only move that mattered.